Guys, welcome. Jo here from 3 Times the Charm, and in today's video, because I thought it would be a great idea to do a tarot reading for the month of March. So let's see what we're up against, because holy moly, it's been a crazy couple of months into 2022 already, and we're already month 3, so hold on to your hats, folks. So firstly, let's just all start by taking a big deep breath. Welcome to the present moment. Thank you for joining me. So everything else that's been going on in your world up until this moment, it will still be there when you're finished. So just take a big deep breath in. Accept the Reiki that I'm sending you, that beautiful white light entering in as you breathe in and filling up your body. And sigh it all out with sound and give yourself a bit of a shake out. Feels pretty good, hey? So let's do that again. So a big deep breath in. And sigh it out with sound and shake it out. Perfect. Okay, let's do one more, and this time when you sigh and shake out, I just want you to put your hand on your heart and feel it vibrate. Okay, so big deep breath in. And as we sigh it out with sound, shake it out and feel your heart vibrate. And that is how we get out of our egos and into our heart space. So when you hear people saying that, when you hear, hey, just get into your heart space, that's the easiest way I found. For me, that's the easiest way for me to get into my heart space without having to sit and om for an hour. Okay, so because today is also a new moon, so if you haven't already checked out my dark moon chant to Kali, I highly urge you to go and do that. So just release whatever's left over from the full moon, anything that's come up since the full moon until kind of now. So do those chants and release, get it out, get it out, get it out. And then I'm going to do a separate video with a intention setting full new moon. I had to remember then where we were. But this video here is about March. So this is a tarot reading for March. I'm going to do 4 cards, which is going to represent each week. I'm just shuffling. Shuffle. So I love a good poker shuffle. So I love to separate. We need a higher table so you can see properly. And then I just like to kind of, I'm going to drop them everywhere if I do it in midair. But I just like to fan them all kind of together and then push them all in. That's a really good way to shuffle. That way your ego knows there's no way you didn't shuffle them properly. I'd love to know, guys, what other videos you want me to do. Like, do you want me to do, like, how to do a tarot spread? How to shuffle your cards? You know, you guys tell me what you want, because, you know, I'll keep making videos if you want me to. This is how we change the world, guys. One video at a time. So, the first week of March for the collective, this is what we need to know. Thank you, Spirit. Show me what the first week of March... Ooh, that one nearly flipped out. Oh, wow. Okay, so the first week of March is going to be really kind of good. So this is all about counting your blessings. Thanks, Manny. Counting your blessings, being successful, giving, being generous, prospering. I love this card. This is one of my favourite cards in the tarot, because whenever I do tend to pull it out, to me this is like the Midas touch card. So everything that you're about to touch is about to turn to gold. So really think about that. What ideas are in your head? What new maybe career ideas are in your head. And the earth cards are kind of that material stuff in our lives. So our jobs, our material stuff, like all the stuff we have. So maybe it's time to go through some of it and start selling some of it, stuff that you don't need, to make a bit of extra coin. Right now we're going through the floods and stuff at the moment, so maybe this is all about being generous and helping out our fellow man and helping out our fellow woman, and really banding together like we do here in Australia. Like nothing really beats that Aussie spirit. And I mean, I'm a Queenslander, so nothing beats a Queenslander. But in these times, it really does show how amazing our human spirit is and how much our mateship is still alive and well here in Oz. So have a think about maybe how that's already kind of playing into your world, because we are in the first week of March right now. So amazing card. I absolutely love this card. Okay, so week 2, I'm going to give it another shuffle because we want to make sure we get the exact right cards for our month. So week 2, Spirit, Universe, God, Goddess, whatever it is you want to call it. We're all welcome here. There's no judgment here. So what? Wow, Spirit, that's far too many cards. Oh. And we'll be here for the rest of the year if I'm deciphering that message. So let's just put them back in and reshuffle. 1 card or 2 at most, Spirit. Tell me what week 2 in March is going to be like for the collective with everything that's going on at the moment. Far out. Spirit's got a lot to say. Flipping cards everywhere. So again, Spirit, I think that's a few too many cards. Although it's too many cards. I just want like 1 or 2. 1, preferably. It's too many cards. Maybe I'm just being a bit sloppy. Thanks, Spirit. Show me what week 2 in March is going to be like for the collective. Like that card. Oh wow, okay, so that looks like it's card number 4, the Emperor. Major Arcana card, so that is always meaning like a major life moment. So maybe in week 2 we're having a whole reshift of structure and organisation and leadership. Maybe that's in your own life. Maybe you're re-establishing what that means to you, what foundations are current now in this world that we live in. This could also pertain to the world stage and what's actually going on further in the world, and maybe we start to see some leadership struggles and some planning and foundations being put down and structures, especially with what's going on in the world right now. This might be that the rest of the world starts to band together and stand up to the bullies. That's a really cool card, and I just got big chills when I pulled that one out, actually, because I think that's super important. And that's, for me, it's a little bit relieving that, excuse me, that maybe there is hope. Maybe there is hope. There's always hope. Even in the darkest room, if we can strike that match, there's the light. We are the light in the darkness, guys. We are that light. And when we all feel a bit down, that's when we need to band together with the rest of our tribe so that we bring each other up. Okay, so card number 3 for March. So week 3, what is it that we need to know in week 3? What's coming out for us as a collective? The 4 of Water, and it's upside down. So I'll just put it up the right way so you can have a good look. So in the 3rd week of March, there might be something where you're not quite seeing the bigger picture. So notice how he's looking. Notice how he's looking at these empty cups in front of him going, oh, they're empty. Oh, woe is me. But then right behind him, there's a big, beautiful cup coming that's about to smack him in the back of the head to go, oi, turn around, look at me. So in week number 3, it's often that means that it looks, we kind of need to see a higher perspective. So it might look like it's all doom and gloom, but there's always a silver lining in the clouds. There's always a blessing in disguise. When one door closes, a window flies open. And I seem to be reminding people a bit lately that when one door closes or there's a roadblock in front of you, maybe that's your guides trying to go, oi, stop, don't go that way. Or don't yet go that way, the timing's not quite right. So often we like to think that we know best and that it goes on our timelines, but actually the universe knows best and it's always in universal time. So to me it looks like you're really kind of in week 3, that maybe we're starting to get a little bit too so woe is me. So just be mindful of that and just know that, you know, the world keeps spinning. Even when we think our own world has kind of stopped. But maybe it's time to see the bigger perspective here and the bigger picture, because, you know, we work for the collective. You know, it's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about us. It's about all of us. So the more we can band together, the more we can raise each other up. And maybe there is something in week 3 where you do get a little bit self-absorbed, you know, and no judgment because we're all going through stuff. But just remember to tap. tap through week 3. Me too. Like, I'm wondering how that's going to affect me too. Okay, week 4 in March. What's week 4 going to hold for us in March? Keep breathing, keep tapping, keep accepting my Reiki. And all of my videos have light codes infused through them as well. So, you know, you're not just receiving Reiki and love energy, you're also receiving light for your highest good. And it goes straight into your subconscious and then integrates when that is best for you. So that might be during the night, it might be when you're able to have a bit of a rest, it might be when you're meditating, you know, however that is for you. Probably not going to happen when you're running around like a mad-ass fly. Just saying. Okay, so week 4. Week 4 in March for the collective. Thank you, Spirit. Show me what we need to know. Another upside down card. So what's this one? The 2 of Air. I have a little bit of a mixed bag through March. That's a bit exciting. So when, I just want to go back to this one because it came out upside down. So I just want to stress as well, like, I don't always read upside down cards. Sometimes for me it's just a bit like my guides are just kind of smacking me in the head with it going, hey, pay attention. Sometimes though in my head, because it is however we each individually do our readings, what is guided for us, each of us. So the way I do my readings will be different to how somebody else does their readings, which will be different to how somebody else does their readings. And it doesn't mean any of us are more right or wrong. It just means that we're all unique and we're all individuals. So it's always whatever resonates for you. Okay? So, you know, if something I say doesn't resonate, leave it. If something I do say resonates with you, then that's your soul recognizing that. So when you're reading stuff on Google, TikTok, WikiLeaks, whatever it is, just, you know, use a bit of your own discernment, Because a lot of the times any random can put anything up and it could all be total bullshit. So, you know, take with what you're reading and stuff with a grain of salt, and always do your own discernment, your own research, your own truth testing. You know, does it feel right? Does it feel good? Or does it feel not good? That's how we tell whether something is true for us or not. It's pretty simple, really. But anyway, coming back to this card, and it came out upside down. So it could also mean that you're starting to see the bigger picture, that you're actually starting to get a little bit less self-involved and self-absorbed, and actually start to look out further than beyond your nose. So that's really positive too. So, you know, however, these cards can be interpreted so many different ways, and then it can show up in so many different ways for each of us. So it is interesting. You know, I love to take note each day of a card that I pull out, and then later on in the day I go back and double check and see how it unfolded in my life. And that's how we get our personal connection with our cards. So anyway, coming back to week 4 and the upside down 2 of air. So this often means, like, see how he's come. I'm just going to flip it up the right way. So see how he's coming to like 2 different pathways? He's got a decision to make. Which way is he going to go? Which way is he going to go? And then the fact that it's come up upside down means that maybe you're overanalyzing it. Maybe your head miles is spiraling out of control, a bit like a Libran, when you just can't make a decision. Which way should I go? Whoa. What if I go left and it's the wrong path? Oh my God, what then? Okay, maybe you're avoiding something that you need to actually deal with. Maybe you're a little bit confused, or maybe because we've come out upside down, is maybe that confusion's starting to lift. Maybe you're starting to see through the confusion to gain clarity. And this, again, guys, like, we can always bring this back to what's actually happening on the world stage as well, because, you know, I kind of explained the first 2 cards. And then in week 3, maybe the distraction. Oh, I just had a bad thought. Maybe the distraction is what makes China go nuts. And then the avoidance of the rest of the world. Because everyone at the moment is kind of running around like, oh my God, what do we do? And it's, you know, we're leaving kind of poor Ukraine at the moment to defend themselves. And they're taking a bloody stand. So maybe the rest of the world can learn from that and realise that just because the big bullies are trying to push their way through doesn't mean that the small fish are just going to lay over and die. Maybe we can take that into the rest of the world. Okay, so we need to band together. We need to see through the bullshit that the governments are feeding us. We need to see through the bullshit that we're being told. Don't just take what the media tells us and swallow it. Question everything, because the world is changing as we know it. And March is going to be quite interesting. So there's quite a few different ways that these cards can come to fruition. So that'll be really interesting to see what happens with that. And I love to often just check what's on the bottom of the card, bottom of the deck as well, to see what kind of energy in March. And we've got the 7 of Fire, which is about conflict. So there is going to be challenges through March that might, in your personal life, on the world stage, March is going to be a challenge. So start looking at who we can be generous to. Give yourself compassion. Be gentle on yourself. Take note of those great ideas that are coming through in regards to how you're going to make money, how you're going to work, and that sort of thing. That's really important. Week 2, start laying down your foundations. getting that structure back in place. Maybe it's somebody that you can go to for great advice as well, and maybe take that advice. And again, like on the world stage, I'm kind of hoping that this is where like the big powers that be actually start to kind of stand together and reshape the structure of the world as we know it. I know that's coming. Like I do know, I don't know if it's going to happen in March, but I do know that the whole way that everything's perceived in this world is about to be torn to shreds and ripped apart. So with the war that's going on and the wars that are about to come, because, you know, the big C ain't going to just sit idly by. They're waiting for their opportunity. So maybe this is all about us banding together with the rest of the world to stand up to the bullies. And then, you know, coming back to these last 2 weeks in March as well, and, you know, looking at the bigger picture, noticing, you know, maybe not what's right in front of us, but seeing the perspective around and seeing the higher perspective of things, not being quite so self-absorbed, and, you know, helping our fellow man, helping those around us, seeing the beauty in the mundane, and, you know, I just keep looking at this and I just keep kind of looking at the bigger picture, you know, like there's so much going on around us right now. And then the decision, getting the clarity that you need to take that step forward. And knowing that we may come up against challenge and resistance, but if we stand our ground and fight for what's right and fight for the higher good, then we absolutely will come through this stronger and more resilient. You know, the floods in Queensland and New South Wales in Australia as well right now, like that's going to be full on for the next month as well, just kind of cleaning up and everything around that. So, you know, like we rise to the challenge, guys. We always rise to the challenge, and we are bloody resilient. So on that note, I'm going to leave you with that. That's a bit of a something to sit with and just kind of see how that might play out for you. Try not to overthink it. You know, if you want to write down the cards in your diary, you know, for each week. So week 1 was the King of Earth. Week 2 was the Emperor. Week 3 was the 4 of Water. So another thing that just popped into my head too is like 4s are also kind of, we've got 2 4s here. So 4s are also in numerology, our foundations and our structure and all of that too. So maybe like this card too is all about re-evaluating your foundations and structures and organisations and how you do things and how you are in the world. Okay, and then the 4th week of March was the 2 of Air. 2s are often related to like partnerships. So maybe you're avoiding a partner, maybe you're avoiding a friend, and maybe you're confused or indecisive about whether that person in your life is actually for your highest good or not. Maybe it's time to start cutting out the toxic people in your life. The energy vampires, the ones that suck the living force out of us. So see, like there's so many different ways that all of these can play out. And again, like I don't ever presume to predict the future. Maybe once upon a time, but you know, the different shifts and everything going on at the moment with the Earth, the different timelines, the different, you know, all the tectonic plates are shifting, the poles are moving, and planets are going crazy in the sky. You know, there's a lot of, and humans have free will. We have free will. So I can absolutely show you the energy of how the energies might play out. But then if you decide I got free will. I'm going to totally go and do the opposite. Then everything could change. But this is a bit of a guide and a prescription to help you try to navigate through the next month. Alright, so I'd love to know in the comments how that resonates. I'd love to know what really stands out for you. And I'd love to know how you might play that out in your life. I'd love to know what's going on, guys. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bells on whatever platform you're watching this on. And until next time, guys, I see you. I am so grateful for you. And from my heart to yours, lots of love, guys. Happy March.